So I recently saw Searching, which is fantastic. So let's talk about it. Hello, my name is Tosh and I love movies. And if you love movies too, then this is probably a channel for you. So why not consider subscribing so you do not miss any more movie related content. This movie review may contain spoilers. It's not guaranteed, but I'm just warning you in advance. Searching is a new mystery and thriller movie that stars John Cho and Debra Messing. The film follows a pretty simple story where John Cho's daughter mysteriously goes missing, and Debra Messing, who plays a detective, helps him to track her down. This may sound like a film you've seen 1,000 times, but is unique as it takes place entirely in a computer interface. Firstly, let's discuss the good aspects of this movie. And the big one that comes to my mind is the performances. Just about everyone in this film was either great or fantastic, or maybe a couple were good, but overall the performances were pretty darn great, and I'm really happy about that because obviously in Skyscraper, well, it was the complete opposite. Another thing that I liked was the twists and turns. This film is very, very intelligent. There's many points in the film where I thought, okay, I've figured this out now. That's going to be connected to that, and then that will be the reason for that. But every time I thought that, I was wrong. And I wasn't just wrong, I was way off with my predictions. And I really, really liked that because it was just, you didn't expect anything that happened to happen. And it makes it more exciting and more satisfying at the end of the film when everything's found out. And it just puts a smile on your face. Something else I liked, just how intelligent it was. I just touched on this. It was so smart the way that it worked. I thought the writers and director did a fantastic job of just crafting a smart, intelligent film that anyone could put on and anyone could probably enjoy it. And the final thing I liked was the execution overall. Just overall, this film was great. I don't have too many negatives. I do have a mixed thing, but it's not like, it's nothing that really ruins the film for me. It's not like I'm going to watch the film again and think, you know what, yeah, I don't like this film anymore. No, it's not like that. The overall execution of this film was fantastic, and I highly recommend you go and watch this film. Now for the mixed aspects of this film, and there's only one that really came to my mind, and that was the story. Yeah, it's really basic, it's nothing special, there's hundreds of thousands of films out there that follow this exact story, but the way that the film was done, the way it was executed, made up for this, because obviously there's, how many films about missing people have taken place entirely on a computer? I can't think of any. This is the only one I can think of, and for me that kind of forgives the fact that the story isn't that great because it feels like a new story whilst you're in the cinema watching it, seeing all the computer interface do its thing. But then when you come out of the film and you think about the story, you realise, hang on a minute, it's a bit basic, I've seen it before. But overall, it's not really a bad thing about the film, and it's not really a great thing about the film either, the story, so I've left it as mixed. Now finally, let's talk about the bad things about this movie, and I only have a few nitpicks. There's just a few lines of dialogue that felt forced. It didn't really feel like that's what someone would say ever in a conversation. It just felt like it was kind of, you knew it felt scripted. Although a film, yeah, is scripted, a lot of the time it doesn't feel scripted, it just feels like, yeah, that's a general conversation people are having. But like, in some lines of dialogue, it felt like, yeah, you can tell they've been made to say that. Another thing I didn't like was, like, there was a few moments where he thought, I'm not really sure if the police work that way. I don't think the news works that way. Like, there was one point, and this is kind of a spoiler, there's one point where they drag a car out of a lake to see if there's a dead body inside, and they kind of showed all of that on the news. And in the UK, they would never do that on the news. They would tell you about the aftermath of the search of the car. They wouldn't show the search of the car on the news. Obviously, it could be different in America, because that's where the film's set. But for me, that kind of made me think, yeah, I don't really think that would ever happen. But apart from those couple lines of dialogue and the kind of the way they made the police and news team work, this is a great film. They're the only nitpicks I have, and they're very, very small. Now, before I give you my overall score of this movie, be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and want to see more movie reviews. It will mean a lot to me. Comment what films you want to see me review, or what film series you want to see me rank. I do also do movie rankings, so go and check a few of them out. And also follow me on Twitter at @AdsTosh, because I'll be putting up polls to see what you guys want to see on the channel, and just letting you know about things going on in my life and things about the channel. Things like that. Just go and follow me on Twitter. Now, overall, I had an absolute blast watching Searching. Me and my dad went to go and see it, and he loved it just as much as I did. And that's a good sign when two people leave a film really, really loving it as much as each other, because you know you've got a good film on your hands. If you haven't seen this film, then it might not be on in cinemas anymore at the time I'm making this review. So, yeah, sorry I've kind of left it a bit late. But when it comes out on Blu-ray and 4K DVDs and whatnot, go out and buy it, regardless whether you've seen the film or not, because it will look great and you'll have a blast watching it. Now, overall, I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10.